Hey, what's up? It's Knack, and today we're counting down the top 10 things that I'm looking forward to in the new decade right here on Wonderful Video Content. Stay tuned. Okay, number 10 on the list. I am looking forward to seeing a lot of cool new websites. The past decade, I feel like the websites from the 2010s were maybe not as exciting as the 90s and the aughts websites. So I'm hoping that we see a resurgence in cool websites like Napster.com and Dig, and there was one called youruleschool.com that I really liked when I was a child. And so I think that in the 2010s we can definitely, in the 2020s we can definitely look forward to seeing a lot more really cool, unique, and innovative brand new websites on the World Wide Web. Number 9 on the list of top 10 things I'm looking forward to from the new decade. Cool new memes, brand new memes. I'm hoping that we get some new memes that nobody thought of before, that people really enjoy sharing on their social media and laughing about, and maybe remixing a little bit to suit their own needs, for their own political beliefs and their own jokes. And so I think that with every new decade, for as long as we can remember, the memes have just gotten better and better. And so I'm hoping that the 2020s brings with it some brand new, just really creative and fun and inventive memes for us to share. Okay, so for number 8 on my list of things I'm looking forward to in the 2020s, rolling into this new decade, I know that many of the viewers of this channel, and YouTube fans in general, are heavily into robotics. And one of the things that I'm looking forward to very much in the 2020s is to get my robot license. And so I've looked into it a little bit, and basically all that entails is passing a few tests, and proving that you know what you're doing when it comes to robots, and then you pay a couple fees to your local and state governments, as well as the federal government and the UN, and then you are licensed and ready to go. You've got your robot license right there. So that is definitely one of the things that I'm looking forward to taking advantage of in the 2020s. Okay, so in the previous decade, in the 2010s, we saw kind of a surge in streaming services and online video platforms. And so one of the things that I am really looking forward to in the 2020s is a continuation of that surge in streaming services. I hope to see just a whole slew of streaming services delivering other video content, including to maybe some wonderful video content. And we can hopefully see a lot of those classic movies and TV shows that we have come to love over the course of the past few years, and maybe even some new movies that are just hitting the theaters. So that's kind of something that I'm hoping that will be made available in the 2020s. Okay, so number 6 on my list of things that I am excited for coming into the 2020s is new advancements in science and the arts, and also technology. You know, as much as we all love scrolling through memes and sharing them with our friends that are hot off the press, and fresh out of the Photoshop, as I like to say. One of the things that I'm really looking forward to in the 2020s is just looking at old memes that I have saved in folders on my computer, and on my phone too. And I think that the memes that people have been coming up with, we're only about a week into the new decade, and although I think that these are good memes, I think that maybe we have some work to do. I'm not saying that the memes of today are not good. I'm just saying that I think we could learn a lot from the past, and I think that uh, if you don't take heed of history, you're doomed to repeat it. That's all I'm going to say on that one. Okay, yeah. So the number 4 thing that I'm looking forward to in the 2020s, the brand new decade, is each decade kind of goes along with a saying or like a catchphrase or some cool lingo or jargon that people love to just kind of repeat and say to their friends and their buddies. And so, one phrase that I really hope makes a comeback in the 2020s is actually kind of a throwback saying, but they used to say that people got a lot of moxy if they were kind of like an energetic person. And I think that that's a really fun one, and I hope that we go back to saying that people got a lot of moxie if they're like kind of peppy and energetic. I think that's fun. Okay, so the number 3 thing on my list here is I think that throughout the many centuries that we've had, in general, food has mostly stayed the same. And so I think in 2020, this isn't really a prediction of anything new, but I think that food will mostly stay the same still. And I think that's probably for the best. I don't really think we need to do much to food. I think it's fine the way it is. So I'm hoping actually, that in the 2020s, food stays the same. Okay, and the number 2 thing that I'm looking forward to in the 2020s, in the year 2020 and beyond, and I think this isn't so much as a thing that I am hoping for as it is, again, something that I think is just inevitable, is I think that we will, again, like last decade and the decade before that, we will see a whole lot of poetry being written in the 2020s. And just tons and tons of poetry. And although I would like to read it all, and that I enjoy doing poetry readings on this channel, and I wish that I could get to all the stacks and stacks of poetry that are inevitably going to be written this decade, I do look forward to briefly skimming through all of the poetry. And maybe if I come across something that I think is poignant or worthy of sharing with you all, then you can look forward to that. I will definitely do that. But my number 2 thing that I'm looking forward to in the 2020s is to briefly skim through all of the poetry. Okay, so before I get to my number 1 thing that I'm looking forward to, I did want to shout out to some honorable mentions. And really it's just one. I was thinking that that could possibly crack my top 10 list of things I'm looking forward to in 2020 would be to try a new brand of shampoo. But I don't think it's going to happen. I'm really attached to my brand that I've been using for years and years. So that's, if you were to give it a number, I would give that a number 11. But doesn't quite crack into the list just because I don't really think that would happen. But anyway, yeah. Okay, and finally, here we are at the moment that we've all been waiting for. It's the number one thing that I am looking forward to, and I think we're all looking forward to, in 2020 and all the subsequent years until we get to 2030. Goodness, that's crazy to think about, right? But the number one thing that I'm looking forward to for the 2020s is I am going to really try and cut back on sugary drinks. And I think that it will help me feel better in the morning when I wake up and throughout the day for me to just have more energy and feel more able to do my job and do what I need to do at work. And as well as for my physical well being, I'm looking forward to maybe losing a little bit of weight and just feeling overall like I'm healthier and in better shape. So, and I think that all of us are looking forward to that as well. So for 2020 and beyond, I'm really hoping to cut back on some of those sugary drinks that I really truly enjoy, including Dr. Pepper and Red Bull. Neither of which have sponsored this video, but they are delicious, and I do encourage you to go out and try them if you haven't yet. But even like Sprite has some sugar in it, and just try to cut back on those a little bit, and just be a little bit more health conscious. And it does, I'm not saying, I'm not going to cut these out completely. That's ridiculous. I can't do that. I don't have iron will, okay? Okay, let's stop this right here, because I know what you're thinking. How much longer can this guy go on talking about sugary drinks? And the answer is like 5 more minutes, okay? So there are about 5 more minutes of this nonsense in this video. So you are more than welcome to go ahead and continue watching it. But there's really nothing else in this video that is worth watching or substantial. So I'm going to go ahead and continue the video from here. But just, this is just to let you know you have been warned. That's pretty much it. We're pretty much done. But you are more than welcome to stay around and watch the rest. So anyway, thank you very much, and have a good one. But I do think that if I cut back a little bit, maybe every once in a while when I reach for a Red Bull or a Dr. Pepper or a Sprite, instead of reaching for that sugary drink, I could just fill up my water bottle, squirt some flavoring in there, and that'll do. That's a perfectly fine substitute for those sugary drinks that really just are empty calories and really just don't, they in the short term, yeah, delicious, make you feel good, maybe give you a little burst of energy in the short term, right? But then long run, I'm talking about getting a bigger gut that I have. This Pooh Bear tummy just keeps popping out, and and it's not like I'm not super conscious about how I look. But at the same time, I remember a time when I didn't have to peek over to look at my belt loops or, to zip up, you know what I mean? And so I just think that cutting back on sugary drinks might be the first step and the easiest step toward living a healthier lifestyle and being just overall more health conscious about the choices that I make regarding what I put into my body. And nobody lives forever. Eventually we all meet our maker, and but at the same time I do have a lot to do here on this earth before I move on to whatever awaits us in the next life. And so I think that, and I'm not saying that, I'm not going to stop drinking Red Bull and then boom, I'm instantly healthy. It doesn't work like that. I'm not gonna extend my lifespan by 50 to 100 years. Um, but and even if I don't, even if I'm not elongating or extending my lifetime, um, it does make sense to live with again a healthy lifestyle, so you just feel better in the day to day. It's no one wants to go through life feeling like a sack of garbage, and I certainly don't want to feel like a wet sack of garbage. And so I am really considering, I think I'm not going to cut it all out immediately, but maybe instead of one or two sugary drinks or three per day, I cut it back to just one. Or like if it's my birthday or, a special event, I can see maybe going for two, maybe three sugary drinks, little ones, um, like a half a glass of Dr. Pepper instead of the old tall glass that I like to pour. Um, you know, because I do believe in enjoying the moment, um, but I don't want to. Again, I'm not trying to substitute my long term health for a few short bursts of joy. Um, so yeah, I just really think that the one thing that I'm really looking forward to the most, from this new decade, um, is to cut out some of those sugary drinks, and maybe even eat healthier too. I admit that I am someone who enjoys fast food more than I probably should. And again, it's easy. I don't like to cook. I know that's, I'm not proud to admit that. I'm a little ashamed. I don't like to cook. I don't like to end up with all those dishes that have to be washed. I don't. And for me, in the short term, it is so much easier. Just hop in the car, go down the street, right here, right on my block. We've got a Taco Bell, we've got a Domino's Pizza, we've got a couple burger joints. There's a KFC on top of not on top of. In the same building as the Taco Bell, there's also a KFC right by my house, right by where I live. And so it's so easy to just say, to tell yourself, just for tonight, I'm going to go get that quick and easy fast food, full of calories, full of fat, full of trans fats, and oil, and grease. But it's just so easy, and it is delicious. And when it's hard for me to not want to go to Taco Bell right now and get some chalupas and a Dr. Pepper, because I'm just thinking about it makes my tummy rumble. And oh man, and don't even get me started on McDonald's soda pop. It is so good. Goodness gracious. My wife and I recently had a discussion about where you can find the absolute best fountain drinks, and I think we still couldn't agree on what comes in top number one. I'll do a list about that next time. But number one, definitely McDonald's soft drinks. But anyways, I'm really digressing a little bit here. I just wanted to tell you all, 2020 and beyond, less sugary drinks, okay? Less empty calories in my food. Robot license, memes, poetry. Okay? So, 2020, let's do it together, you and I. And if you ever need help with any of your 2020 goals or your 2020's goals, your goals for the decade, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Click that subscribe button, click that like button, ring the bell, and make sure you leave a comment. And you can even instant message me. Get at me on AIM. I'll be around, and we can talk about our goals. We can support each other, and we can help each other really um, improve ourselves, improve our lives, and the lives of others in this new decade. So anyway, that's all I've got for you for today. Thank you so much for joining me on Wonderful Video Content. I hope that you really enjoyed this video. I know that I had a blast making it and kind of sharing some of my goals, some of my hopes, some of what I would like to see in this next decade. So with that, I will bid you adieu, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks, I love you, and bye. Bye.